Alexander Stubb calls for preparation for uncertain times and deals during Trump's presidency. U.S. withdrawal from WHO, a threat to global health security, says Mika Salminen. Ready for the dual election in Finland in April. For the first time, the €100 fee causes a significant drop in university application numbers in Finland. Speaking in an interview at Davos, Finnish President Alexander Stubb remarked that the world is entering an era of uncertainty under Donald Trump's second term. He stated that the U.S., under Trump's leadership, along with other nations, is moving away from international rules and a system based on laws. Stubb emphasized that this new era will focus on transactions and deals rather than traditional values. He warned that international rules and institutions once relied upon are gradually weakening. Despite the uncertainty, Stubb noted a positive aspect: Trump's emphasis on peace in his speeches. He pointed out that achieving a peace deal in Gaza and the potential resolution of the Ukraine conflict are promising signs. Additionally, Trump's call for NATO members to take greater responsibility for their own defense is, according to Stubb, reasonable. Finland, even before becoming a NATO member, has maintained high defense spending and strong military capabilities, which have kept the country secure in the current context. However, Trump's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement on climate change was a major disappointment. According to Stubb, this move signals that the U.S. is relinquishing its leadership role on global issues. Stubb concluded that, to cope with the situation, countries must adapt and create incentives to promote clean energy rather than relying on the U.S. U.S. President Donald Trump has decided to withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization, WHO, a move that has raised concerns from Mika Salminen, director of the Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare, THL, about its negative impact on global health security. The U.S., which contributes 18% of WHO's budget, plays a critical role in the organization. Salminen suggested that Trump's decision might stem from dissatisfaction with WHO's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly regarding China. He noted that the U.S. withdrawal from WHO could disrupt negotiations on a new pandemic treaty, which is expected to improve preparedness for future pandemics. Salminen also called on the EU to strengthen its role within WHO to ensure stability in global health cooperation. According to him, WHO's budget, equivalent to that of the city of Helsinki, is extremely small relative to the organization's vital mission. Finland will hold its first nationwide dual election since 1996, comprising regional and local council elections, this coming April. In the regional election, voters will use purple ballots and write the 4-digit candidate number, starting from 2002. For the local election, white ballots will be used, and candidate numbers can range from 1 to 4 digits, depending on the number of candidates in each area. In Vantaa and some major cities, polling stations will have separate sections for the two elections to ensure voters clearly understand the purpose of each ballot. The number of support staff at polling stations will also be increased to ensure a smooth voting process. Early voting will begin on April 2nd, with the official election day set for April 13th. This election will also feature purple cardboard ballot boxes for the first time. The number of applications in the first round of university admissions in Finland this year has dropped by half compared to last year, from 63,000 to 32,400, according to a report by the Finnish Ministry of Education. The main reason is believed to be the introduction of a €100 application fee, implemented for the first time for applicants outside the EU, EEA, and Switzerland. Representatives from universities, such as Centria University and Vasa University of Applied Sciences, noted that this regulation helps filter out less serious applicants and improves the quality of applications. However, the number of applications from countries like Nigeria, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Nepal remains high despite the fee. In addition to the application fee, a policy maintaining tuition fees even if students transition to working in Finland has been strictly enforced this year, further ensuring transparency in education. Currently, around 600 Russians are awaiting asylum decisions in Finland, most of whom arrived after Russia launched its full-scale war in Ukraine in February 2022. Previously, in November 2023, this number stood at 800. The Finnish Immigration Service, Migri, has processed over 1,400 asylum applications from Russian citizens, with approximately 400 approved, 400 rejected, and 500 withdrawn by the applicants themselves. However, processing times in some cases have exceeded 2 years, as Migri awaited guidance from the European Union on handling applications related to military conscription in Russia. According to Migri, conscription alone is not sufficient grounds for granting asylum. Decisions also consider the risk of punishment or persecution for evading the draft. Other common reasons include political activism, opposition to the Russian government, or persecution based on religion, gender, or origin from sensitive regions such as Chechnya. A man born in 1990, who previously assaulted MP Krista Kiuru, has been found to have committed more serious violent crimes than previously known. According to court documents, the man has been convicted of assaulting at least 8 men and 6 women. His acts of violence were often sudden and without warning. A surveillance video from Espoo metro station in 2020 captured him unexpectedly attacking passengers on a train. The video highlights the severity of the threat he poses. The man has been convicted in multiple cases, including assaults on store employees, police officers, and pedestrians in public areas. Notably, in December 2024, he was suspected of attacking MP Kiuru in Kaisaniemi Park, Helsinki. His previous punishments mostly consisted of fines, suspended sentences, or short prison terms, yet his crimes have continued, raising concerns about public safety. The number of job vacancies has plummeted over the past 2 years, making the labor market increasingly challenging. According to a report by Finland's Ministry of Employment and the Economy, TEM, published in December 2024, the number of job vacancies at the beginning of December stood at just around 43,000, a 70% drop from the peak in the spring of 2022. Even the demand for healthcare and nursing staff, fields previously always in need of workers, has also decreased significantly. However, some sectors still offer job opportunities, notably healthcare, artificial intelligence, AI, commerce, and public sanitation. The sluggish economy is seen as the main reason for the decline in job opportunities. According to Ms. Alina Pilkkonen, Deputy Minister of TEM, weak domestic demand and stagnant exports have exacerbated the situation. By the end of 2024, Finland had 321,700 unemployed individuals, corresponding to an unemployment rate of nearly 9%. Notably, nearly 110,000 people had been unemployed for over a year, falling into the long-term unemployeds category, posing significant challenges for both individuals and society. The construction industry, which had plummeted due to inflation and high interest rates, is now showing slight signs of recovery. The search for the Wolverine in the central Turku area officially ended yesterday after no new sightings of the animal were reported. The Wolverine was first spotted early in the morning near a garbage collection area close to Puolala Park by Laura Harainen, who initially mistook it for a large dog. The Turku Animal Protection Organization was called to the scene but failed to capture the animal, which subsequently disappeared from the area. According to police, it is highly likely that the Wolverine has moved away from densely populated areas. Wolverines are a rare sight in the Varsinais-Suomi region. Experts suggest that it may have followed prey or accidentally arrived in the area via a transport vehicle. The search for the Wolverine garnered significant public attention due to it being a large predator typically found in northern Finland. After several hours of effort, the animal was eventually discovered hiding under a house porch and was released back into the wild. Residents are advised to keep their distance and immediately notify authorities if they encounter a Wolverine. It remains unclear why the Wolverine appeared in central Turku, an event considered extremely rare. Living near the border between Finland and Norway, Mr. Antero Isola experienced a distressing situation when he called the emergency number 112 to seek help for his wife. Due to his phone signal connecting to a nearby Norwegian mobile network, his call was routed to Norwegian police instead of Finland's emergency center. Despite repeated attempts to call back, Mr. Isola was unable to reach Finnish emergency services. In his frustration, he contacted the helpline of the Ivalo Medical Center. Finally, he was instructed to call an alternative emergency number and received assistance after a wait of more than 30 minutes. Following the incident, Mr. Isola recommended that residents living in border areas install the 112 app and learn how to use it. This app provides critical information, including the international phone number for Finland's emergency center, helping to prevent unnecessary delays in emergency situations. The death of an infant on Boxing Day, December 26th, has shaken the community of Karjaloja, Finland. After discovering their baby unresponsive, the family called emergency services and performed CPR under the guidance of the dispatcher. However, the emergency center classified the case as priority level C instead of A, resulting in the ambulance arriving at the scene over 30 minutes later. Although a volunteer rescue team quickly brought a defibrillator, it was too late. The family is now demanding an investigation into the risk assessment procedures of the emergency center. The incident has raised deep concerns in rural areas, where healthcare services are being cut due to cost-saving policies. Residents, such as Rina Kivalati, are calling for fairness in public service provision, emphasizing that they pay taxes just like everyone else. This tragedy has sparked a heated debate about the responsibility of healthcare authorities and the right to access emergency services in remote areas, especially when every second counts in saving lives. The Finnish Transport and Communications Agency, Traficom, has proposed a major reform in the operation of interregional rail services, allowing foreign companies to compete starting in 2031. Currently, VR, the national operator, holds a monopoly on these services under a state contract. Due to EU regulations, foreign companies from Spain, Belgium, Germany, and Sweden have already expressed interest in participating. To ensure fairness, Traficom has proposed transferring assets such as train carriages, stations, and maintenance facilities from VR to a state-managed company. Non-profitable routes, such as suburban lines in southern Finland, overnight trains, and services in northern areas near Oulu, would continue to receive state subsidies. The bidding process is expected to take place between 2026 and 2028, with the new operational model being implemented in 2031. The proposal is currently under government review, with a decision expected later this year. Filters on social media not only enhance images, but also significantly influence perceptions of appearance, driving a trend towards filter-inspired aesthetics. In Finland, this phenomenon is gradually gaining traction, according to Dr. Heikki Kupi, a cosmetic surgeon at KC Clinic. Globally, particularly in the US, the rise of Snapchat dysmorphia, a body image disorder caused by filters, is becoming more prevalent. Many individuals turn to filler injections or surgeries to achieve a face resembling their filtered images. In Finland, while people tend to be more pragmatic, the influence of social media, especially TikTok, has led many young individuals to adopt unrealistic beauty standards. According to expert Siini Kangascourt, a growing number of clients, particularly young people, bring images from social media to aesthetic clinics, requesting changes, such as sharper jawlines. However, she cautions that these beauty treatments are not only expensive but also come with risks and require regular maintenance. Open and honest conversations about realistic outcomes are helping many young people think more carefully before pursuing cosmetic procedures. A clothing bank, where families can freely take or donate children's clothing and items for free, has been expanded in Seinäjoki, Finland. This initiative, led by the Moms for Kids Association, was started by stay-at-home mothers to support families with young children. The first clothing bank was launched in 2017 in Vimpeli and has since expanded to 11 areas in Etelä-Pohjanmaa, with plans to go nationwide. The idea stems from the fact that children grow quickly, leaving behind clothing that no longer fits but is still in good condition. The system is run by volunteers, with free spaces provided by local organizations. Residents can donate clothing and items, and shops contribute surplus stock. According to Anuka Novice, manager of Moms for Kids, all donations are carefully inspected to ensure they are clean, in good condition, and suitable for use. This initiative not only helps reduce waste but also promotes sustainability, offering families access to quality resources at no cost. In an interview with Fox News, former U.S. President Donald Trump once again highlighted Finland's forestry practices as an exemplary model for managing forests to reduce wildfire risks. Trump emphasized that countries like Finland and Austria, where forests play a significant role, do not face the severe wildfire issues seen in California. He mentioned that the leaders of these nations had shared with him their methods for forest care, including selective logging and ground clearing. Trump previously drew attention in 2018 when he recommended that California learn from Finland's forestry practices after visiting wildfire-stricken areas in the state. At the time, he faced ridicule for referencing forest cleaning, which sparked the viral #RakeNews. Despite the backlash, Trump reiterated that Finland's forest management strategies, such as collecting logging residues, could serve as a key solution to mitigate wildfire risks. A recent study by the Finnish Medical Association reveals that half of doctors feel their working hours are insufficient to deliver quality care. Many admitted to skipping certain steps in treatment procedures due to being overwhelmed. For instance, non-urgent checks like blood pressure or glucose level measurements are often omitted, despite their importance in early disease detection. Additionally, unnecessary tests are increasingly being ordered to avoid potential malpractice allegations, contributing to a phenomenon known as defensive medicine. The time pressure stems not only from an overwhelming number of patients, but also from administrative burdens, such as updating data systems or explaining new procedures to patients. This extends waiting times for appointments and directly impacts patients, especially those with critical conditions like cancer. Some doctors suggest that adopting a family doctor model could improve efficiency by reducing administrative workloads and enhancing care quality. However, if the current overload persists, the risk of burnout among Finnish doctors will likely rise, mirroring trends seen in other countries. Over 50% of children on the autism spectrum have experienced bullying at school, according to a doctoral study from the University of Oulu, Finland. Teachers estimate that approximately 54% of autistic children are bullied, while parents believe the figure is as high as 69%. The study highlights communication skills as a key factor in the risk of being bullied. Children who struggle with teamwork, lack close friends, experience isolation, or have sensory sensitivities are more likely to become targets. Maria Gentila, the lead researcher, emphasized the importance of monitoring children with autistic traits, not just those formally diagnosed, to prevent bullying. She hopes the findings will support inclusive education and enhance social interaction for autistic children in mainstream classrooms. The study also suggests that a deeper understanding of autism can help mitigate the risks associated with integration, creating a more equitable and safer learning environment for all students. Finland's new Minister of Science and Culture, Marilina Talvitie, has announced a goal to raise the percentage of young people with university degrees to 50%. Currently, less than 40% of Finnish youth achieve this level, which is below the OECD average. Talvitie emphasized that higher education is the key to improving the skills of the young workforce and enhancing the country's position in science and technology. Additionally, the new Minister of the Environment and Climate, Sari Multala, has pledged to focus on protecting the climate and nature. She described these issues as matters of planetary survival. Multala also proposed boosting the development of clean energy and investing in Finland's climate technologies to expand globally. Both new female ministers stated their commitment to advancing current initiatives to build a more sustainable and modern Finland in the future. In Finland, many people still improperly sort organic waste, prompting the company Ekorask to consider imposing fines. Currently, about 50% of organic waste bags sent to Ekorask are regular plastic bags, even though the company requires biodegradable or paper bags. Using incorrect bags lowers the quality of organic waste and complicates processing at biogas plants. If this issue persists, Ekorask fears they will struggle to find facilities willing to accept the waste, while processing costs will also rise. The company is considering fines of €10 for standard non-compliant trash bins and €50 for underground bins. According to Director Mika Salminen, the measure is meant to offset the costs of improper sorting, not to intimidate customers. Other regions in Finland are facing similar challenges. Some areas have adopted a system where improperly sorted waste is left uncollected, with additional fines billed to violators afterward. However, the role and responsibility of waste collection drivers in inspecting bins remain controversial, as concerns about safety and potential conflicts arise. This winter in Finland is forecasted to remain warm until February, according to meteorologist Elias Pakkanen. The reason lies in the polar vortex, a circulating atmospheric system in the stratosphere that traps cold air in the Arctic region. When the vortex is strong, cold air struggles to move southward, leading to a warmer than usual winter in Finland. This phenomenon affects the entire country, particularly southern and central Finland. In the north, although it is warmer, temperatures still remain below 0 degrees Celsius and precipitation often falls as snow. However, Pakkanen emphasized that this is not an unusual occurrence, but rather a natural variation. That said, climate change has made warm winters increasingly warmer. While this winter's strong polar vortex does not set any warmth records, if the current trend continues, the average winter temperature could be significantly higher than usual.